It is raining here in Los Angeles today, and I really love rainy day, but it doesn't rain much here in Los Angeles. Today is one of those spring rainy days that all I want to do is read a book, drink coffee, and then sitting in my dark room with some warm lights on. Just by thinking about it, I already feel so cozy. But I have to work and study. Recently, I've been studying short films, and to me, I think short film is a little bit harder than feature film. To me, they are different species, speak same language. So I really want to know and master short film. I've made several short films before. I don't really particularly proud of any of them. I mean, I'm proud of what I've worked on, and I did see progress there, but I really want to know how to make a really good one. Today I'm going to watch and study short films, and I'm going to break down the short film in terms of screenwriting and filmmaking, and I think it would be interesting to take you along with me to share a little bit about what kind of information I'm looking for in order to study from a short film. And yeah, let's just do it.
Shaping up to be a rough commute out there today. Watch for an accident on the 101 near Sherman Way.
And sometimes I think about dying. Usually I will watch a short film a couple times before I start writing the notes. The first time I'm watching it, I'll try to stay in the perspective as an audience. And then second time when I'm watching it, I'll start bringing in all kinds of storytelling questions and then trying to figure out those questions while I'm watching the short film. And sometimes I'll watch a third or fourth time, depends on whether or not I really like the short film.
Nowadays, to find a good girl, forget about it. Don't exist. I've seen this girl for like 3 months already.
You're being naughty. Hi guys, I was going to checking in with you when I was watching those short films yesterday, but they were so good and I lost the track of my time. When I finished it, it was too late, so I decided to checking in with you today and share a little bit about how I taking notes when I watching short film. So there are several questions I would definitely ask myself no matter I was watching a feature film or a short films. And here I got my notes, and I'm going to share and explain to you one by one. So the first two questions I will ask myself and then write them down is, first, what is the goal of the lead character? And second, what is her or his obstacles? The goal I'm talking about here is not internal goal, it's those external goals that film present through actions, the things that we can see. And the reason the goals and obstacle is so important, I think you probably already know that a story is about drama, and the drama is all about conflict. So as a storyteller, it's important to figure out what is the lead character's goal and obstacle. And if a film failed to present these two things on screen, it might be not going to be a very good short film. After I figure out what's the conflict of a story, the next question I will ask myself is, what is the need of a character? The need I'm talking about here is the flaw, the problem that embedded subconsciously in the character. As we all know, the character has to be flawed, and the story is about a character dealing with the flaw. That's the way to keep the story interesting.
That's my salad. That's my salad.
So there are usually have two different type of needs, the moral need and the psychological need. The moral need are things that the character subconsciously do that might hurting other people. It's something that they need to change in order to treat other people better. And then the psychological need is something the character subconsciously think that hurting themselves is something that they need to change in order to treat themselves better. For example, maybe the lead character is a willful teenager, and then her moral need could be that she always yell at the parents because she doesn't trust her parents and she doesn't believe that she can communicate with her parents. So her moral need is to learn to trust her parents and believe in them. She might have psychological need at the same time. For example, she is self-conscious, then she need to learn to love herself. The example I gave you here is kind of broad, but I think you can get what I mean. Usually I will try to figure out both moral and the psychological need within a story, because a lot of great film, the character has both psychological and moral need, and that make the character more vivid and more like a real person, I think. So that's the thing I will try to figure out when I'm watching a film, and also I will definitely try to figure out when I write my own story. And the next question I will ask myself is how the story introduced the character and how the story make us rooted or having some empathy for the character. Because as we all know, short film has limited time to introduce a character, so it has to be done in a very smart way. And normally short film is focused on the flaw of the character. They like to put character in a pre-existing conflict and situation, so the story is starting out in the conflict already. So when we see the character have all kinds of flaw, we have to have a way to know them better in order to like them, in order to have some empathy for them. I will try to figure out how this story presents little details to make me feel a little bit connect to the character despite the fact that the character is flawed. And the next question I will ask myself is how this short film present the character's goals and obstacles. As we all know, the last thing we want to do is to let the lead character saying what they want and what's the obstacle. That's kind of too on the nose. So usually they will present the goal and obstacle through an action, an event, or something other character says, but not saying it directly. I think it's really fun to see different film. They use different tactics to achieve this, and then I can always learn a lot from it. Once the goals and the obstacles present naturally, the story will have much bigger impact on the audience, and it will be much more believable. So it's something really interesting and very important to learn. And as I mentioned before, a lot of short films is starting the story in a pre-existing conflict already. So the last question I will ask myself is there a pre-existing conflict within the story already? For example, one short film I watched yesterday called Sometime I Think About Dying. It's a story about depression. So there are pre-existing conflict already. There are people in our society that have bias about depression, so the lead character is concerned about how other people think about her mind that she's thinking about dying all the time. That's a pre-existing conflict. The last, I usually will write down things I really like about story, just highlighting some details that I want to learn from them. And basically that's it. These are the notes I will take when I'm watching a short film. I hope they are helpful. And I made a playlist of several short films that I really like, and then they are just happen all on YouTube. So I'm going to leave link to that playlist down the description. If you are interested, you can watch them as well. They are mostly award-winning short films. And please give me some feedback and let me know what you think about the video, and you can comment down below. If you like this video, remember to leave a thumbs up, and then remember subscribe. Be patient, stay creative. I'll see you next week.